uh, uh, coffee time, coffee time. Uh-huh. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time over crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.
And good morning, everybody. To everybody, good morning. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share. Invite somebody, share. I decided today I was going to do something that I don't do. And that is sleep in. Sleep in, or at least stay in to get rest. One of the things that I am taking more serious now than I have ever had before is that I'm coming to the understanding that I don't have to push, work. It's a slow process, but I'm getting there. I have to be smart. I have to get the rest that is necessary for my body. I have to do the things that are advantageous for me to have the health that I need in order to gain or enjoy the wealth that God has given. And I'm a wealthy man today. I'm wealthy not because of money. Money don't make you wealthy. I'm wealthy because I have a loving family. I have great friends, and I have you, my Coffee Time family, to do life with. And for that, I'm a wealthy man. So do me a favor, invite somebody, share, tell somebody, hey, Pickett is on. Coffee Time is Coffee Time Zone. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share. Invite somebody, share. We're going to be talking about today the promise, the test, the promotion. The promise, the test, the promotion. The promise, the test, the promotion. You know, the older you get, the more you're going to appreciate just real good relationships. Friends that you have who do not compete, but they complete your purpose. They serve a vital role in your life to help you fortify the things that are necessary, solidify the things that are important, and eradicate the things that are unnecessary. Relationships are powerful. That's another thing that I'm doing. I'm spending time with my friends and my family, whether it's dinner, whether it's conversation, whether it's me sitting at the coffee table, coffee house, no matter what it is, I'm taking the time to breathe. I'm taking the time to rest, and I'm taking the time to live in the moment and enjoy what God has done, what God is doing, and what God is going to do. And I take that time to do that and celebrate with those who are equally blessed, or wherever they are in their life. I am taking time to enjoy these moments. So in taking the time to do so, there are a lot of lessons that I've gathered over the years that I believe are important. And do me a favor, invite somebody, share. I want to say good morning to everybody that is tuned in. Everybody should have a dream. Ms. Drika Renee, good to see you this morning. Everybody has a dream, everybody has an idea, or everyone should, at the bare minimum, have a goal, something that you're trying to achieve, something that you're trying to accomplish. And that dream, that goal, that idea, it stains you, it marks you. It's something that you want to do. It's something that you want to achieve. Life in itself throws us a number of curveballs, throws us things that you never would have expected in a million years. Life is full of what I call the unexpected. It's the things that didn't turn out the way we thought or the way we've planned. And you have a decision to make when things don't go the way that you desire, planned. You have a decision to make. Are you going to relish either in the guilt, the misfortune, the sadness that it has brought you? Or are you going to use those things as fuel to do something with your life and make a difference in others? I never thought, as a young man, when I got married, it was for life. When I got married, I'm telling you, it was to death do us part. Never thought I would be divorced. And here it is, 21, 22 plus years later, still single, unmarried, but I just never thought that would happen to me. I never would have thought in a million years my brother, Freddie Laval McIntyre, would not be here to celebrate life and for us to do life together. Never would have thought it. Never would have thought it. Never would have thought last year, this time, I'd be preparing to bury my father. Never thought it. My dad always told me he and my mom, they would live to be nothing short of 100. And here again, we buried my father last year. I do believe to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, not to be deep or spiritual, but that is my belief and my conviction. My point in saying all of that is I never thought I would be here. Now, those pains of life taking a sudden turn, the aches and the things that accumulate that are layered with these experiences, if you allow them, can leave a bitter taste in your mouth and change the way God created you to be. But I've decided in everything that if it doesn't kill me, it's going to make me better. And that's the decision that I made. So when we talk about the promise, the test, and the promotion, I'm kind of going backwards. The idea, your goal, what you desire, and, you know, it's probably a good idea that you go back to thinking about what you desired when you were innocent, before trouble hit and before you were forced into adulthood. Because in all honesty, most of our adult life is fabricated between the sheets of insecurities, impossibilities, and learning how to fit in any environment. And in the process of learning to fit in different environments, you learn to take things that you don't want to take, and you have to deal in ways that you don't desire to deal because you don't want to risk what's on the line. Let me give you an example. You go to work, things don't go right. Your manager is the problem. You know you want to grab her by the hair or exchange, bare minimum, a few words with her, but you can't because you understand that the repercussions of that is going to lead to further damage in the future. So you hold your tongue, you hold your actions, and you recalibrate, you recalculate your response to that person that you want to drag. It's a whole lot of people deserve these hands. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. But what make us reassess, what make us rethink is the consequences that comes with our actions. So when you look at the consequences that come with our actions, believe it or not, it gives us a different perspective on how we need to deal. We're in the process of dealing slowly and over time. If you're not careful, a part of that can be sewed into your personality, and you begin to change who God created you to be. And we become professional actors because we've had to perform in so many different rooms that needed our presence and our expertise, but not necessarily our personality. So we've altered our personality to become what the environment demands. And slowly but surely, we've changed into something we were not created to be. You know I'm telling the truth. Shanette Cornell, good to see you this morning. Hopefully all is well. Sonny Hoover, what it is. So if you're not careful, we'll become phony. We learn how to laugh when stuff ain't funny because we're thinking about the consequences. We're also thinking about the things that are connected to what we do. And no one wants to be on the outskirts of anything that it has been proven to be profitable to our future. So because I don't want to stand on the outskirts, I don't want to be on the outside. I have to do what it takes to fit in to an environment that I prefer to leave behind. June Hawkins, good morning. So life have taught us how to be phony. Life has taught us how to do what we need to do to get what we need to get when we need to get it. And as a result of that, slowly but surely, you have morphed, evolved, changed, and altered your character as well as your behaviors. So when you start thinking about the things that you want to do and you want to be, you have to go back to a place when you felt safe. If you want to understand the original you, go back to the place or to the time when you were not expected to perform, when you were not expected, when you didn't have to, for lack of a better word, alter who you are. You go back to your purest form before people had touched your soul or your mind. And what were you dreaming about? What were your desires then? That will really lead you to who you were created to be. It's unfortunate that in life, in addition to having to change because of the environment and the expectations that are placed on us, most times that are unfair, coupled with that or layered with that is that we have all types of systemic racism. We have colorism. We have genderism. We have different ailments within ourself that causes us to not have the security that we need. So we begin to adopt and adapt to something we were not created to be. Now you add layered to that. You layer to that abuse and all of the things that are unnecessary that has been given to you beyond your control. And that abuse could be verbally, it could be sexually, it could be corporate abuse, it could be church abuse. It's the mishandling of things. Abuse is simply abnormal use. So when you add abuse to those other layers, we literally become something that we were not created to be, and we begin to extend our personality to become something that is abnormal to us. So go back to when things were easy. Maybe you still remember what your dream is, what your desire, whatever that is. That this morning is our promise. Our promise are the things that make us happy. A part of my promise in being happy is freedom. I don't like people who try to control and monopolize my space or my time. I have a hard time adjusting to that. I'm not saying I have a problem with commitments. I don't have a problem with commitments. It's just that even in the commitment, God has created me to be a free moral agent. So I'm able to move about, I'm able to think, I'm able to become, and I'm able to do the things that I've been equipped to do. Hey, I would love for you to make me better, but you don't have to handcuff me in the process of making me better. And as a result of that being handcuffed, being placed in some level of bondage, being oppressed, meaning I don't have the ability to express who I am or even share my ideas. You're forcing who you are, who you've been. You're forcing that on me and trying to make me you. That is unhealthy. The stress and the strain that we have to deal with, just dealing with things like that, is enough to build some level of regret and resentment, maybe in the lane that we're in or the life that we've chosen. So you have to overcome these things. You have to press through these things to see clearly who you really are at your core and what you were created to do. So whatever goal that you have, whatever desire that you have, it could be multiple desires. I don't believe that our promise is or should live in a narrow margin of others' expectation. No, I don't live my life in the shadow of what other people think. Now, there's some things that I have to do based on the environment that I'm in. But one of the things that I pride myself on is I don't lose my identity. No matter if I'm in the White House or the crack house, you're going to be able to see it's Pickett. And I encourage you this morning to not decrease in who you are, diminish the things that make you you in order to fit into any environment while you're chasing your promise. Your promise, no matter what it is supposed to bring you health, life, and freedom on all levels. That's psychologically, that's financially, that's spiritually, whatever that freedom is for you, however that freedom looks for you, you should not have to trade parts of your soul in order to become that. But it takes a certain level of strength to walk in a room and make adjustments, but remain who you were created to be and use things in the room to become the better you. Those are the things that help you fulfill your promise. Did you not know that everybody on this earth, this little rock that's floating in space, that's all earth is, a rock, has a desire to be successful, appreciated, and wealthy? Everybody has that desire. Most people believe that they are working or they need money or they need more money. But when you talk to people who have all the money in the world, sit Diddy down right now. Have a conversation with him. I can guarantee you he will tell you the money brought him problems. There's even a song, more money, more problems. But people who've not experienced that level of wealth from a financial or economic place believe that their answer is in money. But the people that have the money are searching for something else, and I don't believe they can even articulate what it is. What do you do when you've bought everything you wanted, you've done everything you wanted to do? What left is there to your life? So the one thing that people are really looking for, they don't know it. Many of you, maybe you know it, maybe you don't, but I believe you're attest to it once I say it. The only thing that all of us are looking for is freedom. We don't want anything to tie us down from living and gaining the things that are in our heart. There are goals, there are ideas, there are dreams that are inside of us. We just need the freedom not only to pursue them and to accomplish them, but we need the freedom to be able to take care of what's in our heart without fear of provision. That's why we go to work. We go to jobs we hate. We deal with people we don't like. We make the sacrifice of rising early, staying late. We're not just doing that for money. You think you are. It's the freedom that money brings. We sacrifice our health, our soul, our spirituality, who we were created to be. We sacrifice all of that. We exchange all of that to get this green stuff called currency. Overworked, underpaid, overworked, undervalued for this green stuff. And in the grand scheme of things, if we would decrease our way of living and find happiness in small things, we wouldn't have the stress of carrying the load that we have. Most of us are living outside of the rims of our budget, and that's why we're stressed to do things we don't want to do. We're forced into certain alliances because those alliances brings us certain favors, certain privileges, and as a result of those alliances, we need them because it helps me over here. I've been thinking, I've really been thinking on a different way of paying for my insurance. Do I need to become friends with somebody? This insurance that I pay out of my pocket, is high. Medical insurance, vision, dental is high. And I can't go to the dentist every day. I can't go get my eyes checked every day. I'm not going to the doctor every day. I'm paying more. I'm investing more than I'm receiving, so I'm looking for ways. I even thought about, well, you know what, I could get a part-time job and make them pay the insurance. That's a good business decision for me. The problem is, when am I going to have time to work their job? So maybe I'll swing from dose to dose. Maybe I'll get a job for 6 months, do enough to keep it, and see how long I can do it without doing work. See how long it takes them to fire me, and then find another one, and then anything to lower this insurance. So that's the test. So we have the promise, which is the idea, the thing that we're pursuing. That's the promise. The test is, how do we get there? Oof. The test is not just the unexpected that is thrown at us. It's also the road that we choose to get to the promise. And all of the adversity that comes with it. Say what you want, death changes you. Say what you want. It does. It changes you. And if you've never experienced the death of a loved one, it's nothing I would wish on my enemies. It changes us. Now, it can change you for the good, for the bad. It can do both. For me, the longer I live, the more valuable time has become, and the more or the less likely I am to allow other people to waste my time. And it goes like this. I'm real sweet at first. Then I get a little rough. When I get to the place where I'm not sparing your feelings, it's because I'm done with you. You've wasted my time. And the one thing that death has taught me, time lost will never be redeemed. Time lost is time gone. So if you're going to get to the destination, which is the promise is whatever you desire. That's going to make life better for you. If you're going to get there, you have to outlive the test. The test is life and death. Some of the things we face, sometimes I wonder, is it better to be dead than to have to go through this? You know, there are certain battles, believe it or not. I've never been a punk or a wimp. I face everything head on. It is what it is. Now, I may drag my feet when it's a battle that I really don't want to be involved in. I have to muster up the strength to face certain battles. I'm going to go through it, get through it, and I'm going to be fine. But going towards whatever this adversity is sometimes can be mentally taxing to the point that I'm exhausted just thinking about it. So I have to pride myself with things that's going to cause me to chill and relax so that I can face this battle with the assurance that I'm coming out on top. I'm not wasting battle strength facing things that I can't win. So that causes me to choose my battles carefully. There are some battles I choose, and there are some that are chosen for me. But whatever the case is, I am going to make adequate decisions to make sure that I preserve the strength that is necessary by not fighting things that are minor. I don't fight little battles. I don't fight them. I don't tie myself up in battles that will cause me to exert strength. I need that strength because there's going to be some things that are thrown at me or thrown towards me that I can't change, and I'm going to need that strength to get over those. So I'm not trying to get in a war unnecessarily. All right, so your promise is your idea, the thing that you're believing for, you're hoping for. You're going to go through many tests. Some of the tests, or the majority of the tests, believe it or not, that we face are within. Let's talk about that for a second. Then we'll talk about the promotion. And I'll say peace. The inward tests. We don't give ourselves enough credit for who we've become. We don't praise ourselves the way that we criticize ourselves. We're on this roller coaster trying to better ourselves and become better. And most often, or more often than not, we end up being people pleasers in exchange for acceptance. So we start loving people more than we love ourselves. As a result, we're literally killing ourselves to please other people, and we're sacrificing our happiness because there's an emptiness in us, there's a void in us, and there's a question mark that is inside of us that is pushing us to be accepted. And in order to get that acceptance, we exert ourselves trying to make everybody happy, and we're still unfulfilled. So the problem with all that, it doesn't lead to us being ultimately satisfied. So we regroup, we say we're going to do better, I'm going to love me, and we post about it. We still don't do it. We end up in the same rhetorical cycle of doing what we've always done. And most of that comes as a result of not having wisdom poured into us, or if the wisdom is poured, we're not listening with an open heart, and we don't have the guts to make the adjustment. So wisdom violated is chaos created. Whenever you omit wisdom, get ready for disaster. It's coming, baby. I promise you. You keep hearing the same word. Hey, you need to take care of yourself. Hey, you need to do better. Hey, you need to align and understand time management. Hey, you need to understand that you ain't Superman or Wonder Woman. You can't do it all. You got to learn that no is a complete sentence. Hey, I'm getting these alerts from YouTube and some of the other platforms. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Glad that you're on. I see you. You need to understand you've got one life to live. You put so much pressure on yourself to be better that you're driving yourself by moving unnaturally. There is a natural flow to change. You generally don't change overnight unless you get a miracle. It's a natural flow. I'm back to working out and losing weight. Here we go again. So, I'm ready to get it. Stop pumping that iron. Got to get this beach body back. I think I'm going to be on the Time magazine. Take my shirt off and show my muscles. Well, in getting back into the gym, running again, playing ball again, right now, I'm so sore. And I talked to one of my homies, Junie. His name is Arthur. We call him Junie. And I said, yeah, man, I'm getting back in shape. And he said something so profound. It was very simple, but it was extremely profound. He said, Pick, don't do too much too soon. He says, ease your way back into this and let the ease be as natural as possible. I say, well, what do you mean? He said, don't just start trying to jog 2-3 miles again. I know it's in your head. You've done it before. He said, no, man, start out walking. Then speed walk. Don't try for the 3-5 miles. He says, walk until you can't anymore. Then turn around and come back. Push yourself slowly because gradual changes are natural. And when you're making gradual changes, they're not unrealistic. Many of us, we put these unnatural changes on ourselves by trying to be more than what we are. And instead of easing into it, we jump into it head first, eyes closed, tight, and we make all these vows and promises to ourselves. Then when we don't live up to the word that we've exclaimed, nobody told you, you said it. Then we feel bad, like we failed, and we live in the guilt of that failure. That is self-inflicted. I am not trying to change overnight. It's gradual. So if you see me and I'm not living up to your expectation, it becomes your problem, not mine. I'm easing into this. I'm making gradual changes because I want the change to stick and to stay. So if I do it gradually, it becomes a part of my character and personality. If I do it suddenly, I shock myself into it. That's not commitment. Gradual. Everything should be done gradually. You don't go from dating to getting married tomorrow. That's an exceptional behavior. That generally doesn't happen. You date. You get closer. Then an engagement comes where you're still dating and getting closer. Then it's gradual. And a lot of us have entered into behaviors that we've tried to make permanent, but they're unnatural. You've been unfair to yourself. You don't even indulge anymore. You're depriving yourself of what you naturally need for a survival. Let me tell you something y'all need. Some of you need a hug. So simple. You need human interactions. You need to be held. And I'm not saying just let anybody, but there are certain things you need as a human. Human affection motivates the heart, because when the heart has been heightened with gladness, it's able to pursue anything. Some of you need a hug. So some of you just need to chill. I mean, you said you wanted to be this by this age, that by that. Well, you couldn't control some of the things that happen in your life. You say, well, yeah, but if I would have made this choice. Choices that are made are made. You can't change that. Why are you looking back at it? Looking back at the past opens the door for regret. When we lay in regret, we abort promises of the future, because now your mind can't move forward because you're steady looking back. The only time you should be looking back if you're getting ready to help somebody or use something from the past as a stepping stone for a better future. You can't control what you can't control. Yeah, I made some dumb mistakes in my life. Yeah, I made some decisions that were just not wise. I can't change it. And I don't let anybody in my life to remind me of what I'm trying to stay free from. Well, yeah, pick it. But I remember when you, that means we're not supposed to be talking, because you're living somewhere where I moved. Can you imagine having a party at an address that you moved from 3 years ago? Everybody shows up to an empty house. How dumb is that? How dumb is that? So we won't party at an old address because it defeats the purpose of celebrating. It defeats the purpose of celebrating the person we're celebrating. We want to be where they are. So stay away from people that lock you to your past. Stay away from them. Stay away from people that like to remind you of what you are not. Stay away from them. And stay away from things and people that do not fit into the pursuit of happiness. And you've got to learn, this is self-discipline. This is self-discipline. What makes you happy is not necessarily what makes you better. Yeah. Happiness can be temporary or it can be permanent based on the decisions you're making. So make sure the decisions that you're making has futuristic equity, so that when you cash in on that decision, you're paid good later. Don't invest in things that bring you temporary happiness and could be heart failure for the future. True happiness is long term. It's not short. So when we talk about the promise, the test, the promotion comes because you've been diligent in your gradual changes. This upward progression that you are a part of, it comes in increments. Stuff don't happen overnight. You wouldn't eat fruit from a tree that you just planted yesterday. It hasn't even taken root, baby. You've got to give this stuff time. Make gradual changes in time. Hey, and if you mess up from your goal, don't condemn yourself, lay in guilt, and feel bad and begin to operate or give up because you did not exceed your own expectation. That's insanity. You're freaking out because you set a goal that you were not able to achieve. So, all of us do. Make gradual changes. Hey, if you lose it, you fail. Hey, learn from it and keep moving. Quit tripping. That's that internal stuff that I'm talking about. And I promise you, when the promotion comes, it will not change you for the worse. It'll change you for the better. People that receive promotion and they have not gone through character definement or refinement, they become bitter people for other people in the future. And then their success is ruined because they've not gone through the process of refining who they are. You're supposed to gradually get better. I can promise you I'm not the person I was last year. I can promise you I'm not the person that I was yesterday, because every day I make a decision to change something to become better. Hey, hopefully this coffee time helped you. I appreciate all of you who decided to spend your morning with me. It's Terrence Pickett, Coffee Time. You were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom inside of you cannot handle. You got to calm down, slow down, chill, relax. Enjoy the day, live in the moment, and let wisdom speak. When wisdom speak, we will always win. Go have a prosperous day. Remember to think higher, speak life. If you're watching the eclipse, don't do it. Put some glasses on, chill. Enjoy the day. Life is but a vapor, and soon it'll be over. And the only time that you don't have is the time that you didn't spend well. Have a great one. Peace.
Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time over crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time, feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.